I'm delighted to be joined now by Shane O'Sullivan of Ballygunner ahead of the AIB GAA All-Ireland Hurling Senior Club Championship semi-final, which takes place on Sunday, with Ballygunner facing off against Ballyhale Shamrocks at Croke Park at 3:30. The AIB GAA All-Ireland Club Championship features some of #the toughest players from communities all across Ireland. It's these very communities that the players represent to make the AIB GAA All-Ireland Club Championships unique. Now in its 32nd year supporting the Club Championships, AIB is extremely proud to once again celebrate the communities that play such a role in sustaining our national games. Shane, delighted to have you on the show here. Looks like you're at a video game convention there with the old headsets on. Or where are you coming from?
I'm actually in Kilkenny, would you believe? So it's enemy territory.
Yeah, you're over on the dark side. Sure, Ballyhale's only up the road from you, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah, stone's throw. It's about 20 minutes now with the new road. It's probably even 15 minutes on a good day.
Yeah, and how much are you looking forward to the match this weekend? Because you had a cracker when you played in the All-Ireland final earlier in the year.
I know, I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait, to be honest. It's trying to keep the energy right is the thing this week, because you keep thinking of it too much. As you know yourself in playing, Shane, your energy be drained, and you don't want that. But still, it's great to have it come in every so often and just really look forward to it.
Yeah, and you know, I was chatting to a friend of mine, Nisha Waldron, who played with you in Ballygunner for a little while, and he told me to ask you, how many Munster finals have you played in? Which, you know, and the reason I'm coming to that is you're used to the big occasion, but how many Munster finals would you have played in now at this stage?
Oh God, I'd have to go counting, to be honest. I don't know. Include, like, you come in with Waterford as well as Ballygunner, or just Ballygunner?
Oh, sure, that's even more again. Jesus Christ, you've played an unbelievable amount of finals. Have you played in like 7 or 8 Munster finals with Ballygunner anyway?
I'd say 1, 2, 3. I'd say 6 or 7 anyway. Maybe more now, or maybe more if you go back on it.
Yeah. And how much are you still enjoying it?
Actually, I'm enjoying it more than ever, Shane, to be honest, because I think, as you know, Ferdy came along there 5 or 6 years ago, and it gives you a bigger picture perspective on life, and you don't get too attached to the outcome. You can just go and express yourself and really get into being your best for the team on the day, and, you know, not being too anxious around it, I suppose, which brings a level of enjoyment, I think, that's beyond what I have had previously.
Yeah, and I know it as well as anyone that you don't like your age being brought up when you're in your 30s and all that, because, you know, people are looking to retire you. But what age are you now? Because you're on the go a little while.
Well, the statistics are saying 37, but I keep telling myself I'm 27, Shane. Maybe that's the secret. I was talking to a fella called Bruce Lipton there recently, and he wrote a book called The Biology of Belief, and he said, what you're thinking, you're becoming. So I think I'll stay with 27.
And would you have done anything in particular to try and elongate your career? I remember chatting to Tony Brown years ago, and he was talking about when he hit 30, he was watching what Ryan Giggs was doing, and I'm obviously talking about on the field now, and he was saying that he was just doing loads of yoga throughout the week. That's what Tony Brown was doing to keep himself going.
Yeah, no, just I think you get more experience as you know yourself, you know, and you start to understand the body a little better. But I think I got asked there during the day today, do you step out of training sessions? To be honest with you, I haven't missed one this year, you know, stepping out of anything. The coaches would ask, but no, the body feels really good. And I don't know, is it genetically or what it is, but maybe that little bit of experience in managing recovery well is beneficial as well. Like, we're lucky in Waterford, we're close to Ballygunner, so it's only 10 minutes from the sea. So, you know, that's a little thing that might be helping, and all those little things build up over time, you know, from a recovery perspective.
And as well, also, as an older player, you don't want to be seen to be stepping out of sessions, because then you're nearly given an excuse to get dropped for some of the younger lads.
Maybe that's what they're at.
But another thing, when I was talking to Nisha, he was asking me to ask you, who's your favourite player of all the relatives between Billy, Dara, Philip, Porrick, etc.? Who was the best of the lot?
Oh, Jesus. I could be killed if I gave an answer to that one. A combination of them all. Maybe the best is yet to come.
Who would you say is, or if we're to not just say the best player overall, who's the best sticks man of the lot?
Wow. Like, they're all different. Like, I mean, Porrick for scoring anyway. Like, his ability to just at ease pop a ball over the bar is incredible. You know, I don't think there's many that match that. I suppose you take maybe Billy's pace, you know, and cut. You have Dara's bit of vision, and then you have maybe Rory's aggression there, the brother, and then you Philip's kind of, you know, hard. Like, there's so much different parts of all of their games. There's really strong, and, you know, Kevin, Mikey, all of them, like, they're just all have unique attributes that are complementary, I suppose.
Yeah, and then another one I was told to ask you as well is if you could bring back any of the Ballygunner players from the 2001 team, who would you add to this team? The likes, Fergal Hartley, maybe Frampton, Paul Flynn. Who'd be the first one to get called up?
Oh, jeez. These are some questions. You should have prepped me for this. Oh, man. If you could take Flinner's talent, and get Flinner in there, and then maybe if he had the athleticism of some of the lads there now, like, I think he'd just go to town altogether because, he'd have just that incredible talent and if he had the athleticism of some of our lads that we have now, he'd be just a Messi. He was nearly a Messi anyway. Now, don't get me wrong, but I think he'd be a different level. But then look, you'd have Fergal and you'd have Paul Power and there's so many good players. But I think talent-wise, definitely Flinner.
And would you drop Desi for him or the young lad coming through, Pat?
I won't be let into Ballygunner next week if I keep answering these questions.
But you must be delighted with your own form, and what a crucial block you got on Conor Boylan in the Munster final when things were getting hot and heavy in the second half.
Thank you. Yeah, no. I remember I saw him out of the corner of my eye. I just made a beeline, and luckily enough, I got over to him. But yeah, no, look, form is good, but it's just about repeating it, I think, and you have to be very conscious of like what are you doing to perform well, and then really focusing on, okay, I need to do that for this week and preparing for Sunday. So just getting very grounded about it all and trying to say like what's the routine, what's working for you, what you need to improve, and go from week to week in that sense.
And where would that game against Napier compare with some of the other big matches you've played at in terms of intensity? Because it looked off the charts to us watching on.
Yeah, no, particularly like there was periods of the game there. I think there was blocks of play where it was just the ball tackles. The ball was moving, but the tackles were in with the ball everywhere it went. So yeah, we've been fairly up there now. Like they're a really strong physical team, really good team now, by the way, as you know yourself. So it'll definitely be up there with the top 3 or 4, I'd say.
And did you feel that getting over the line with the All-Ireland last year, that's kind of giving you that extra belief that when you're in a tough game like the Napier one, that she can just stay cool and manage the situation and come out on top?
Yeah, there's something about the lads like this team, particularly the younger lads. They just stay true to what they believe in. The process of the way they play, and despite whether you could be 5, 6, 7 down or 6, 7 up, they're just really in the moment and they're really grounded in what it is they want to do. So 100%. Did I answer your question there? Sorry.
It's hard to know, but yeah. But like, do you think it's a good thing also that going into Croke Park against Ballyhale Shamrocks this time, that you've now played a game at Croke Park and you've won there, so the whole mystique of Croke Park for some of the players who haven't been there before, that's kind of gone, and you as a team know that you've climbed the mountaintop?
100%. It definitely, like whatever people say, it definitely adds a string to the bow if people have done. There's one thing visualizing something achieved, but there's another thing actually going out and doing it, and it really reinforces that vision. So I think it'll be great for lads going up there the second time within a year, and I think they'll take a lot of learnings from last year too, because even though we won the game, there was areas of that game that we didn't play to our potential, and we could be better. We know that, and we have to try and produce that now on Sunday.
Yeah, can you give me your recollection what you were seeing when I suppose Peter Hogan broke forward with that ball, gave it on to Harry Ruddle, and tell us what you were seeing.
I just seen the back of Harry and the way he was weaving through, and just look, then ball cracked in the back of the net. But Harry's been, even this year again, he's incredibly grounded in his performances. Like, so he's getting game time. But even that year, at the early part of last year, before that match, he was flying and training. So he's really in form again. So looking forward to seeing. Please God, he gets in and see what he can produce on Sunday.
And how did you react when the ball hit the net? Were you stunned, shocked? Were you joyous? What were you?
Yeah, I'd have to look back on the puck out, but I presume I was looking like puck out coming here, because it was obviously I was half back at that stage in the game, the left hand side under the Hogan stand, so it was purely focused on, make sure you get this puck out back to the ground, and bat it back. That was the focus at the time. But then the whistle blew, it was a different ball game.
Yeah, and that when the full-time whistle went, what was the feeling there?
So just elation, pure elation. And just pure emotion, nearly overcome by emotion. It was an out-of-body experience. I just went to the ground and just started crying. It's just something you can't hold back. It's something that's just comes naturally to you. And I guarantee you, I wasn't the only one. There was old men in the stand at 78 years of age were the same.
Yeah, and like, what were the next few days like down in Ballygunner? I'd say they were amazing.
They were, yeah, they were incredible. And, you know, you try to, I suppose we haven't even referenced that. We don't want to reference that this year within the group. And it's important that obviously I'll talk to you, but I'm experienced enough to talk to you and then park it, like, you know, but other players that suppose maybe not so much, you wouldn't know with the younger lads, but we've really enjoyed it, that period of time. But then we were 4 or 5 weeks, we were back at it and focused in on, you know, trying to win our own county championship again.
And so just even talk to you about Waterford then for a little bit. What did you make of Davy Fitz getting the job and even the departure of Liam Cahill? Were you surprised to see that happen?
No, I wasn't. I think, did Liam resign, I think, or what way was it in the end? I think
Yeah,
so.
he stepped down. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, look, the way it ended up last year was disappointing from a Waterford context. You know, Liam came in, made a very big impression in the first year. I suppose we never really progressed from there. And then Davy coming in, I thought was actually a very good appointment in the context of where he goes, he brings success, you know, with it, that speaks for itself. And also, if you think of the evolution of Davy since his first time, obviously, when I was playing with Waterford, when Davy was there first, it was his first rodeo, his first time inter-county manager. He's learned so much since then, you know. He's gone to Clare, won an All-Ireland, gone to Wexford, won a Leinster championship with puck of the ball from getting to an All-Ireland final. I think Tip, actually, your own county, bet them in the last puck of the game one year. So he brings that energy. And I think also what he's very good at, he's bringing people in around him that'll assist the setup, and good people, which we just have to back him now, because there's really good talent coming through in Waterford now, and it needs to be leveraged, I think. And Davy has the experience to do that.
And would you see Pat Fitzgerald, the young lad that you have obviously playing the forward line, do you see him being thrown straight in at the deep end?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, they'll have their Munster League and the league championship matches and things like that. So I'm sure they'll try out a number of players in that phase and see how things go, you know.
And I suppose it's interesting that Liam Cahill's first game in charge in the Munster Hurling League is away to Waterford as well. Like, would people in Waterford have any issue with how things ended, or are they just happy enough and move on?
Good question. I suppose everyone is different anyway. That's the first thing. I think Liam gave everything he could when he was here, you know. And then I think he knew his time was up. Whatever happened last year, he said, look, I don't think I can get any more about that dressing room. And he said, look, I'll go. You know, in fairness, the year before, he believed in the group and he thought he could, and it didn't work out. So he said, I'll go. And I'm sure, look, as a Tipperary man, Liam always in the back of his mind had his eye on that job, you know, and I think he's going in there at the right time for him as well.
Yeah, and like, how far do you think this Waterford team can go? Because some people would suggest that maybe the chance to win in All-Ireland has passed.
No, I think, being honest, I think the best players are coming. The best players in the last, I think the best players are coming. Whether they'll have the foresight and vision to mold those players into the group, I'm not sure. That's Davy's job. But I think the best players are coming. I think we still have obviously great talent there, but then there's a few lads around that just have the right attitude, they have the right mentality, you know, they have a presence, awareness, they have a humility, they have a groundedness. So just getting them into the group and creating a team ethos will serve them really well. So they won't be far away, I don't think.
Yeah, and Desi Hutchinson, having come back from professional soccer, he must rank as one of the best forwards in the country. Have you had to mark him that often? He's usually inside and you're usually the wing, so you probably get to escape him mostly.
Yeah, he comes out every so often. I really enjoy it because you know where you stand when you're trying to mark Desi, I can tell you. But look, he's incredible talent. You know, everybody knows that. And, you know, sometimes when he comes out, that little bit of space helps him out too, because he can be confined in the corner sometimes as well at certain games, you know.
And then just the likes of Peter Hogan, he probably had injuries earlier in the year, didn't feature as much for Waterford, but he's one of those players, among other lads that you have there, that's really kind of stepped up at Waterford in the last few years.
Yeah, 100%. And Ballygunner as well. Like, he's a terrific player. He's kind of like an unsung hero in a sense, but like you're identifying him there as a workhorse of a half forward, but with blinding pace and also a great ability to take a point or a goal. Like, some of the goals, you know, he's got over the last year has been incredible. You know, 30 yards, 20 yards out, taking on his man and pinging it in the top corner. You know, it's not that, like, when someone does it once, you say, that could be a little bit of luck. You do it 3 or 4 times, it's a different ball game. He's a complete player, if you know what I mean. He'll score, he'll tackle, he'll work, he'll pass. He's all the attributes.
Could I ask you then about Paddy Levy? Do you have much fun with him over the old one-handed flick? Because he's a fair exponent of it.
Oh, we do. He's brilliant. And another thing he's very good at is getting down low and picking up a ball. You know, and he's kind of actually Paddy's excellent at certain skill sets. He's a great man to take a long range point as well. I know I'm blowing the lads up now here. I'd probably blow them up too much, but they're kind of lads you can blow up and they'll stay grounded, Shane. So I can keep doing that.
Yeah, would you see him featuring for Waterford? Like, to me, he certainly has the engine for it. People would sort of say maybe he doesn't have the stick work in terms of like the ball striking to do it, but not everybody has to be able to put the ball over from 100 yards.
Oh, he'll do that too, though. You see, I think the straight answer is he should. I think definitely he should be there, 100%.
Yeah, and I suppose then the match this weekend against Ballygunner. Are you upset that you missed the World Cup final?
Not at all, as you know. Like, I mean, to watch the World Cup final or go play an All-Ireland semi-final for your club, you know, there's only one winner there.
Yeah, I know you're joking about that, but like, it's a great contest for the rest of us looking on. This is like an unbelievable game to be able to look forward to at Croke Park. Like, it should be a cracking contest, really.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the two teams performing to their best, like they did last year, even though I think two teams can improve a lot since last year, even will be, you know, anywhere near that would be a cracking game.
Yeah, and what sort of game do you expect? Do you expect it to be similar to the one in February?
No, I just think it'd be like every game is on its merits. You know, it's like these kind of games, they have an evolution all of their own. I think they'll ebb and flow. There'll be times when both teams will be on top, momentum will come, it will go. You know, there'll be big hits, there'll be big moments, and you know, hopefully then we're on the right side of that at the end.
And even like the fact that you have played so recently, do you think that will affect how the teams set up against each other, the matchups, and maybe make it a bit more of an arm wrestle and, you know, maybe fewer scores?
Yeah, maybe from the context of the management, but like, to be honest with you, I think that both sets of players, there's such talent there that even if you try and contain, there's someone going to pop up and get like 1-3 or 1-4 or 5 points or 6 points, or, you know. So I think even though if teams went, I don't think there's going to be a contained game, to be honest. I just think it's going to be open, all out, two kind of ways of playing against each other. And, you know, I think it'll just be that way. I don't think there's going to be any containment on either side, to be honest.
Okay, well, look, Shane, thanks very much for chatting to me, and best of luck on Sunday.
Pleasure, Shane. Good to see you again.